How about we peel back the mysterious layers of ISIS? Well, there are shades of ISIS that the world commonly knows, and there is one they probably won't. You all know ISIS, right? That global extremist group that's been causing a lot of trouble. Over the past year, they've been up to quite a bit. They've spread their operations beyond their main areas in Iraq and Syria, and have been particularly active in Afghanistan and Africa. The genocide against the Yazidis is a fearful episode from our not-so-distant past. ISIS, driven by their radical beliefs, aimed to wipe out the Yazidis, a one-of-a-kind minority group mainly living in the northern parts of Iraq. The Yazidis, with their unique culture and religious customs, sadly became a target for ISIS. They were branded as non-believers by ISIS, who thought they were in the right to inflict punishment on them, even if it meant death. It's a truly sorrowful part of human history that we must never forget. It's a chilling period from 2014 to 2017 when ISIS launched horrific attacks on the Yazidis. They didn't stop at killing thousands of men, but also abducted women and children. According to the United Nations, the death toll of Yazidis reached around 5,000. Just thinking about the terror of such brutality is truly horrifying. It's a dark time in our history that we should always remember. It's truly heartbreaking. The women and girls were subjected to very bad conditions. A large number of them were forced into sexual slavery, enduring abuses that are beyond comprehension. It's believed that around 6,000 women and children ended up in captivity. And the boys? They were forced into fighting for ISIS. Some of them were as young as 7. It's a chilling reminder of the atrocities committed during this time. They went as far as demolishing Yazidi sacred places and attempted to wipe out their cultural heritage. They aimed to force the Yazidis into converting to Islam or face death. It's a textbook example of genocide, where one group seeks to eradicate another simply because of their identity. It's a sharp reminder of the depths of cruelty that can exist in our world. Indeed, the world was taken aback by these horrific acts. The investigation team from the UN discovered undeniable proof that the events that unfolded against the Yazidis constituted genocide. It's crucial that we're aware of this history to ensure such atrocities are never repeated. How can we safeguard individuals who are singled out solely due to their religious or cultural background? It's a significant question that deserves our attention. The genocide against the Yazidis is the biggest example of the terrible things that can happen when hatred is allowed to run wild. Let's take this as a lesson and pray for a world where respect for everyone, regardless of their beliefs or origins, is the norm. What measures, in your opinion, can we implement to ensure this? It's a conversation we all need to be a part of. Absolutely, the Yazidis, who are a Kurdish ethnic group with their unique religious practices, have been subjected to persecution for hundreds of years. However, the terror they faced under ISIS was unparalleled. The global community has acknowledged the atrocities committed against the Yazidis as genocide, which is the most severe crime against humanity. This acknowledgement isn't just a term. It's a recognition of the intense and systematic effort to wipe out a group of people based on their identity. The genocide resulted in the Yazidis being forced out, fleeing, and essentially being exiled from their ancestral homes. Just picture yourself having to abandon everything familiar and dear to you, with the knowledge that going back could cost you your life. That's the harsh reality the Yazidis had to face. They were pushed out of their homes, their sacred places were demolished, and their very way of life was on the brink of extinction. It's a chilling reminder of the atrocities that can occur when hatred goes unchecked. The migration of the Yazidis, especially to Germany, stands as a powerful symbol of this community's strength and resilience. Germany has become a sanctuary for the largest Yazidi community outside the Middle East. Many of these individuals have either personally lived through the horrors of the genocide or know someone who has. The memory and the aftermath of the genocide are a part of their daily lives. It's a heavy load that nobody should be forced to carry. The survivors are in need of assistance to recover from the physical and emotional wounds inflicted by the atrocities they endured. They also require support to reconstruct their lives and communities, not just in their native land, but also in the countries where they've found sanctuary. So what can we do to help them? And can we ensure that such atrocities never happen again? These are questions we must ask ourselves. It's crucial to think about how we can assist them and make sure such horrors are never repeated. These are questions that need our attention. We can begin by learning more about the Yazidi genocide and spreading awareness about it. We can also stand up for the rights of the survivors and back initiatives aimed at bringing those responsible to justice. We all should have a conversation about these incidents and educate others too. Now let's talk about the aftermath. How does a community bounce back from such a catastrophe? The journey towards healing and justice for the Yazidis is indeed lengthy and hard. It encompasses several stages, such as finding those who are still unaccounted for and ensuring that those responsible are brought to justice. Thousands lost their lives, and countless others were forced to leave their homes. Women and children were taken captive, and sadly, many are still missing. The task of finding these missing individuals is a challenging one. It calls for a joint effort from governments, international bodies, and the community itself. Justice plays a pivotal role in the healing process. It's all about ensuring that those who face these horrific crimes face the consequences. There have been trials and tribunals established specifically to hold ISIS members accountable for their actions against the Yazidis. But justice isn't just about punishment. It also includes recognizing the terrible acts and making amends. The Yazidi community has displayed remarkable strength and determination in the face of such daunting challenges. They're making efforts to reconstruct their lives, but they could use some assistance. This support could come in various forms, such as financial help, mental health counseling, and aid in rebuilding their communities. So how can we help and play a part in the healing and justice process for the Yazidis? One way is by backing organizations that are actively assisting the Yazidis on the ground. Among the survivors is Lamia Bashar, a young woman whose distressing story of escape from ISIS captivity has become a symbol of the Yazidis' unyielding spirit. Bashar's story shows how strong the community is. She emerged as a beacon of hope and an advocate for her people. Are you shocked by what you've discovered? That's the side of ISIS that the world will never see. Is this propaganda or a shocking truth? Comment your thoughts on this and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.